Hello folks. Today we're going to take a look at this game. This is Powerslave Exhumed. This is the newest re-release, the newest remaster made by Night Dive Studios. And they have done what they do best. They have taken another old game and made it new. This is Powerslave, also known as Exhumed in Europe, and they've just kind of made it a title-subtitle sort of situation, which is pretty cool, also because it fits with the remaster, you know, they've exhumed Powerslave, so to say. I don't know why that was actually renamed, maybe there was something going on with the Iron Maiden thing, I don't know. In any case, we're going to take a quick look at this. I've played not much of it, I don't really have a lot of time right now, I've just checked it out real quick, and I kind of know what this is, and yeah, there's a little bit of a history here, and we're going to talk about that. But in general, this is a Night Dive Studios re-release, as we know and like it, I guess. So we got all the options that we want, we have like maybe most of the options that we want. There's a lot of stuff. They've included a new overworld screen, which we are going to come to. You know, we have crosshairs, we have an FOV slider. I've reduced that a little bit. Usually I play with higher FOV, but there was kind of a bit of weirdness going on here. I'm like a 100 FOV kind of guy, but whatever. So let's start a new game. We're just going to do that. We're going to do hard, and let's go. So, Tomb of Ramses. Okay, let's go in. And here we are. So, Powerslave is a game with kind of an interesting history. This right here is a remaster of the console game made by Lobotomy Software. They were sort of a developer kind of specializing in first-person shooters for the Sega Saturn. They made a bunch of games for the Saturn which were all a lot better than you would think they would be. They made like the port of Quake, for example. They made Powerslave. They made the port of Duke Nukem 3D to the Saturn. And they kind of used their own engine and their own sort of framework of making console first-person shooters, and they were pretty good, right? So this game was also, there was also a Powerslave on the PC, which is the one that I knew back then, because my first console was an Xbox 360, so I never really had a PlayStation, or a Sega Saturn for that matter. And that was an entirely different game. That was made in the build engine, sort of the engine made for Duke Nukem 3D and other games, William Shatner's Tech War. And that was much more of a sort of conventional first-person shooter, and it wasn't very good. It was one of those also-ran build engine games, you know? Like, there are the big ones, there's Duke Nukem 3D, there is Blood, and maybe Shadow Warrior, although I don't like this one very much. But, and Powerslave was always one of those that were like, yeah, you can play it, but do you want to? I don't know. However, the console version, like this game right here, had a pretty, was pretty great actually. It was a pretty cool game that did some fun things with the first-person shooter framework. Let's just get into it, right? So what this is, you know, what Night Dive have done for this is they have kind of made this a combination of the Saturn and the PlayStation game, which were different. Like, there were meaningful differences between the two. Namely, you know, like level differences and all that kind of stuff. I think environments were a bit more detailed in the Saturn, but larger in the PlayStation, stuff like that. And they've just kind of combined the two, similarly to what they did with Forsaken, with their Forsaken remaster. That was also sort of a combination of all the Forsaken versions into one, and they did it again for this. Right? So, as you can see, like, there's like the red spiders and the blue scorpions. That's kind of a thing. One of the games, I always forget which one is which, but the PlayStation versions and the Saturn versions had those respectively. They were kind of the same enemies, you know, but look different, right? So I think the Saturn version had the red spiders and the PlayStation version the blue scorpions, whatever. And you know, they just put both of them in here, and sort of a best of both worlds, which is great. I actually do kind of like it. They have sort of made a definitive version of Powerslave. They did a similar thing with Turok as well, where they've not just recreated the game verbatim, but kind of made it its best self. And with remasters, I like that, because that doesn't erase the original. You know, you can always play the original Powerslave still. But this is sort of the, yeah, kind of the, hey, what if we made like the best version of this game? And they did. So, let's murder these things here. This actually feels pretty good. Like, we move at a good clip. It feels good. You know, a lot of small enemies, but that's okay. This game has kind of a weird system with like ammo and health, which is centered around these orbs. And every weapon has its own sort of weapon energy thing, but there isn't like any. So it's distinct ammunition pools. However, the ammunition that you pick up is not distinct, right? So the blue orbs that you pick get added to the weapon you have out at that point, which makes some getting used to. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting system. I don't know if I know any other game that does it like that, but it's kind of awesome. Let's see. Let's get murdered here. Oh yeah, that was incredible. Gotta find a few red orbs now. Luckily, there are a bunch. And what's interesting about this console game here is that it is kind of a Metroid-like. It's not really a straightforward level after level first-person shooter. It's actually... Let's murder these guys real quick. There we go. It's more like a sort of... Sometimes you see it labeled as sort of a proto-Metroid Prime. Since I've never played Metroid Prime, I can't talk to that, but that's what it is, right? So this is kind of, the first level is kind of a linear one, but we're gonna get there. Hello. Oh yeah, there we go.
Welcome, mortal. I am King Ramses. When my body was laid to rest here, my name was not...
A little bit of story here. Thank you, King Ramses. Here we go. And let me see. Yeah, and this is the end. Let's travel to Karnak. Right, so we have this map here, and we can actually go back to previous areas. I think if we start here, we actually start at the end, right? No, we start at the start. Crikey. Oh no, that's bad. But I think the state of the level is saved. It might not be. Oh no. Oh no. I did a goof. Nope. Can I actually go back? I can't. Okay, let's just speed run through this real quick. Or not. I'm not a speedrunner at heart. Whatever, that threw a little wrench in anything. I thought this would put you back. But no, guys are gonna come back down here. Ah! Getting attacked by spideys. Here we go. These are not the types of spiders that I find terrifying, so that's okay. Blow this up. There we go. Hey, guys. Going. On. Go. Yes. Yes. See you. Oh. Talk to the big boy again. So another interesting thing about this night dive version of Powerslave is that kind of a prototype of this has been sort of floating around the internet for years and years at this point. And yeah, because I think that was made by Kaiser, who is one of sort of the night dive remaster wizards, and he made a version of Powerslave, sort of almost like a source port of Powerslave, right? Like it looked very much like this actually, and that was sort of a thing that was put on the internet very briefly and then had to be taken down because the rights situation was not resolved, essentially. And apparently it took a while until it was resolved, and now it has been resolved, and now you can actually go ahead and buy this, which is great. Oh, I died. This is horrendous. Not necessarily playing well right now, but that's okay. Hey, a map. A map. Oh, nice. But yeah, that was called Powerslave EX, similar to like Doom 64 EX, which was also one of those pre-Night Dive sort of source porty kind of things that has been re-released since then. You know, like that has been turned into a full-on remaster as well of Doom 64, which is really good. And sort of the finished versions are better than sort of the original ones. Ooh, we got a weapon boost. Shoot really fast. Just slicing and dicing. It's pretty fun. So, what you do in this game is you go to like all these different levels, essentially unlock the levels, and you will run into passages that you can't yet go into. And what you need to do is find like keys and new skills, for example jumping higher and all that kind of stuff, and take them into earlier levels. And I'm not playing well. Like a first-person shooter while talking. Not actually all that easy. You just got squished into... That's interesting, that's a fun little bug. Actually moves with the door now. That's fun. Okay. So yeah, it has sort of a Metroidy structure. You have to go back to previous levels and use your newly acquired skills to do other things and so on and so on. Which is kind of neat, you know? I kind of like that structure. At least to an extent. I'm not a huge Metroidvania kind of guy, but yeah. And it's kind of cool to have this game now, remastered and ready to play in sort of a full HD version. And again, this is really good in the way that Night Dive remasters are really good most of the time. Actually, kind of all of the time. They are great, and it's a good game. Powerslave, this Powerslave version is a good game. The console version is a good game. Part of me wishes that there would be like that the PC version would also be in here, but it's a completely different framework. It's a completely different game, and it wouldn't really work. Probably, it would be like its own thing, and it's probably not really worth it to do that because a little bit. It's probably not worth it to do that for the game, because, again, the PC Powerslave is not what you want. Let's swim around a bit. It's kind of, it plays nice. It plays nice. Full weapon power, okay. This. It's just a light. What we can do here? Murder this bird. This might be something that we have to... This goes somewhere, but I don't think we can reach that for now. Something there. Yeah, so this game has a strong exploration element, and I do kind of like that, you know? Like you look around, you find stuff, oh, this is intriguing, what might that be? You go on. So, yeah. Once I have time, I will play some more of this. Right now, it's just going to be this quick look. I've bought it because I buy basically kind of everything that Night Dive does. They are a great company, I think. Or at least they cater to my tastes, which makes them a great company, I guess. And yeah. So let's just play this for a little bit, and we're gonna... Can we actually drop down here? No. What did that do? Oh, that opened the thing. Okay. I think this is just a full health sort of thing. Okay. Oh, here we go. Artifacts, transmitter. Okay, so we have the X sort of key. That was a scarab, yeah. Let's go in here. Oops, yeah, that was this area. Come on, guys. Yeah, this feels pretty good. Like, in terms of sort of also ran Doom clones from the 90s, this is definitely one that feels great to play. Like, this is really cool. And yeah, you can't go up here, so I think this is one of these instances where we need to find a thing that lets us jump higher. So let's see, anything else that we have not yet explored? There's this. Am I getting already stuck? Okay, definitely. Like, this is not a jump that we can make. This is way too far. Well, you can jump pretty far, but it's not gonna... That's just... Okay. Oh yeah, right. There were like two things here. No, this is that. Not... Already embarrassing. Okay. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Alright. This is just the main game. This does not really have any multiplayer or anything. And there's not like a lot of modes and add-ons and whatever that I can show you. Like Quake, for example. But yeah. Right, this start. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm almost about to figure it out. I promise. Probably gonna be the thing. Maybe I just need to destroy the things. No. Symbol of time. Oh no, I can open this. Jesus Christ, Jay. That was a thing. Even talked about the key there. Right, and this is already an exit there. See the camel? Camel means exit in this. And we're gonna have to come back here later to actually be able to get into sort of other areas. Hey, Scorpy, come up here. Here we go. Travel to Karnak Sanctuary. Yes, I will. Here we go. Karnak Sanctuary. Right, and we're gonna go in here. We might actually find another key or something that will help us. Yeah, this actually does look different. I have this... Definitely in the version that I played, this area did not look like this. Remember, I think I played the Saturn version. Go. Alright. Yeah, and find another weapon or something. And I think then I'm gonna call it a day. I don't think there's much more to show you. This is just this game, right? Oh yeah, we have found another weapon. I remembered getting this. This is like, this weapon here you can find in a lot of sort of Doom wads and all that kind of stuff. This is one of, like, Powerslave is a game that had its resources ripped for a lot of sort of free Doom mods and whatever. That's why some of that stuff might seem a little familiar to you. Like, I've definitely seen this gun in a lot of games. a lot of sort of free games. Okay, here we go. That's the time thing, symbol of time. Symbol of war. You can only use them once. Don't keep the key. The gun is pretty good though. And again, you can just pick up the. You can just pick up the blue orbs to refill. Doesn't really matter which gun we're using. Actually, doing some damage. Some green, very flat green stuff here. That's not just how it looked. It also looks nice. So they might have added like some dynamic light stuff and all of that. I don't know. Like the green stuff does not actually emit light, so maybe they haven't. Maybe that's just what it looked like. I don't really remember all that well. Definitely want that. Take this. Yes, we can. And the symbol of war and full health. Very good, and this has dropped down. This. Oops. I actually need to over here. No, that's symbol of Earth, not war. Jeez. Let me see. Oh, we still have that. Okay. Do we keep that? Oh, you keep those keys for a level. This is what it is. It's not single use, but murder these guys. Murder, murder, murder. And symbol of Earth. And with that, we're gonna walk back. I just want to get my first sort of upgrade, and we're probably going to call it all the way back out. That's not what I intended to do. Up here. Right. Oops. A room of Spideys. That's alright with me. Can deal with a bunch of Spideys. I don't know. I think I do like this type of exploration. A lot of folks don't. A lot of folks like sort of more straightforward levels, I guess. Which is also fine. I get why that is. But I have some funness for this. Because, you know, mainly a Doom thing for me. It's so much Doom that I enjoy it when the game has a similar thing going on for it. Okay, we can do this. Back here. Nope. Oh, oh. Wasn't good. That wasn't good. Oh no, actually not good. If I die here, that's gonna be embarrassing. Okay, go. Full health up there. I would definitely want that. But oh dear. And I'm dead. Okay. Folks, that's gonna be it. Oh. Yeah. It puts us down here, but that's gonna be it for this one. This is just a quick look at Powerslave Exhumed, which is out now for a reasonable price, and I think it's a good one. If you like sort of classic first-person shooters, if you're maybe into a little bit of sort of Metroidy stuff, this would be good. Oh, this has a CRT filter. I did not actually notice that. I'm going to check this out real quick. Let's load that. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah. Oh, this is actually kind of a decent CRT filter. This actually looks good. It's very blurry, but it has to be. Okay, I'm into this. This looks way more like the original would have. Okay. Yeah, good. Good options. What else do we have? We can reset settings. And this is all the stuff you expect and want. different shading modes, modulate and subtractive. This might be more like the original was as well. And this definitely looks better. Audio, yeah. Input bindings, of course. Oops, that was the console, the Kex Engine console. You might know if you've digged around with Quake a lot, with the Quake Remaster. Overworld screen, HUD settings, show playtime. And you know, you can turn off your crosshair, or like have a large crosshair if you want. What's the largest we can make the crosshair? Have a stupidly large crosshair, shall we? Go back. Oh yeah, that's a big crosshair. I would have hoped that it would be. I hoped that it would be a bit thicker than this, but yeah. Okay, and with this large crosshair, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks everybody for watching, and see you again next time. Bye bye.